Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price right now. As our new daily candle is about to open up fully above the 100-day moving average, it's about to close in less than 15 minutes. I had to get out this emergency update to talk about what's happening to Bitcoin. Let's dive straight into the chart, Snipers. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support this content. So right now, Bitcoin is getting itself ready to potentially test this extremely important resistance at 42,000 US dollars. We've yet to test it since coming back down to the 600-day moving average. And we also know that we've yet to test 38,000, which is the range support. That's actually a bullish puzzle piece that the bulls defended 38,000 when we came down below 40,000. We have seen follow through so far above the 600-day moving average and above 40,000 because not only did Bitcoin decorrelate itself from the S&P 500 to get this green daily candle, because just notice here how the S&P 500 didn't close that daily candle green. So Bitcoin making a bold statement there, and now we potentially have ourselves the chance to test 42,000 for the first time. If we get above 42,000, just look at how close this 20-week moving average is. And now we position ourselves to reconquer our weekly candle and our daily candles, needing to confirm this back above the 20-week moving average. And that's all we're going to need for Bitcoin to potentially get itself back in position to continue further beyond 50,000 US dollars and test higher levels, all based on what happens here at 42,000 US dollars. There's a reason we have yet to get above 42,000. There's a reason Bitcoin's price currently, as I'm recording this video, 41,500 is inching its way to 42,000. We know it's an important level. And so I just want you guys to realize that if we get above 42,000, for those that have been waiting for a confirmation of a reversal here, that is your confirmation. Of course, getting above it, then holding the previous resistance as support is what we're going to need. But you snipers obviously have been tuned in here and know what's going on there. We know that resistance at 42,000 is important. Now, what about the revolving parts? Let's look at Ethereum. Already above its 50-day and 100-day moving average, showing strength against Bitcoin. We did see a slight sell-off the other day. I know that ETH merge is being delayed. And since then, we've kind of seen Ethereum slow down, other altcoins like Luna taking the spotlight, but we're still strong here. We're still above this major resistance. If we see an upside move in Bitcoin, expect Ethereum to outperform because it is bullish. I want to be very clear there. Bitcoin dominance, we're still waiting on it. We're expecting it to potentially see some relief to the upside, but the most recent puzzle piece we got from yesterday, if you remember, snipers, is that Bitcoin dominance finally gave us a hint as to how it wants to come up, because it did come up over the last 48 hours, but it came up with Bitcoin moving up, right? And so we have those two ways that Bitcoin dominance can come up, whether Bitcoin is moving up and it allows the overall market to move up, but Bitcoin outperforms, and that's a way that Bitcoin dominance can come up. But the other way is the overall market sells off, and we were hoping it wasn't the second option, and it wasn't. Bitcoin went up, outperformed Ethereum over the last 48 hours, and that allowed Bitcoin dominance to move up. So what if we continue to see that? We see Bitcoin move up, and we see Ethereum maybe lag behind it, maybe some days outperform it. The point is Ethereum is bullish still against Bitcoin, and so there's certainly a chance for it to outperform. But the puzzle piece there is Bitcoin dominance could potentially continue further up while Bitcoin's price also continues further up. So I just wanted to quickly notate that. But we're waiting for Bitcoin dominance. That's the last puzzle piece. And I think it's quite clear at this point that the DXY does want to continue further up. So we'll continue to monitor the DXY. A lot of times Bitcoin waits on the DXY to finally kind of find some calmness before making a decision and starting to move in the desired direction. And so let's wait for the DXY to calm down. At this point, we have to assume abnormal strength because the Euro to USD pairing is starting to break down the major support, which is inversely correlated to the DXY. And so the Euro to USD breaking support here would make me assume that the DXY is ready to break resistance, and it is in a very bullish transitionary trend right now. And so we cannot assume anything otherwise. And other than that, really, there's not much else going on with the revolving parts. It's quite clear that Bitcoin is inside of a strong range. With 42,000 as a major resistance and 38,000 as our major support, we just need to get above that $42,000 level to get back above that 20-week moving average. Less than 3% away, there's a very strong chance this could happen, snipers. Hopefully by the time you're watching this video, and once we get above that 20-week moving average, then we can start looking at long positions for Bitcoin on leverage, and then start looking at upside targets. Of course, we know 45,000 is the next roadblock, but because we've already come through and faced these roadblocks once already, this would be the second time. The likelihood that we could overcome those obstacles becomes a lot higher for the second time around. And so this right now is really the most important time, because if we get to 45,000, at that point, we're too late to decide whether or not we want to get these positions in right here around 42,000, which, as you snipers know, I've been saying Bitcoin below 40,000, we've been taking long-term positions that we throw on our ledgers and we throw on our treasures and leave them there for 5 years, because Bitcoin at the 600-day moving average has never been a bad idea to enter positions into. And so quite nice to see what's going on. And then also remember this, I'll wrap this up, snipers. We talked about Bitcoin forming 3 higher lows so far for this consolidation. And remember, every time we've actually formed these higher lows, it's happened when Bitcoin has come and wicked below the 600-day moving average, right? This white line. And this was the third time we came and wicked below it, when we recently came below 40,000. And so far it has formed a higher low. And so as long as we don't come back down below that 600-day moving average at 40,000, things look good. If we come below that 600-day moving average, then the real reality is we could see even a potential capitulation, because the 600-day moving average in the past has only really broken through a capitulation. And so I'm not expecting that. Unless we see something abnormal, then we can talk about support, but I think we'll have time with everything below 38,000 being a very strong support level. So 36.5 and 35, all very important levels. So I think that we'll be able to catch that if it happens. I don't think we'll get caught off guard if there's going to be a downside scenario. Of course, I always have to address that, the bears and the bulls on this channel, but things look bullish, as I've been saying. The DXY is never a huge concern, because Bitcoin in the long-term macro always outperforms. And then the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart for our bullish bias has stayed strong. The fact that it's strong shows that there's not much fear in the altcoin markets. And we saw that clearly with what happened to Luna, for example. And so things are looking good. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up this video, snipers. Thank you all for tuning in today. We have a long week ahead of us. Cannot wait to cover the markets. If something happens pretty significant, like getting above 42,000 with decisiveness, hourly and 4-hour candles, I'll get an emergency video up. And then if we see anything below 40,000, of course, I'll get a video up, because at this point, I would not like to see Bitcoin get back below that 600-day moving average. I would like to see it form the third higher low, so that we can just kind of confirm that as a thesis. So with that, thank you all for tuning into the channel today. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you enjoy these 4-dimensional updates, and I'll see you all next time. Snipers out.